Hi everybody, my name's Allie. If you're new, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I love and appreciate you. I haven't seen you in a while, I feel like, or I know, because I haven't posted in like 2 weeks. It is reading wrap-up time though, and this was not my best month. I only read 6 books this month, and I have a reason for that, which we will get into because it's the first book that I read this month. I spent so much time reading a book that it put me in a book slump and I didn't want to read. I feel like half the books that I read this month I've read in like the last week because I have had no will or desire to read because one book has taken me forever. So we'll get right into it with the book that's taken me forever. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. This is a big book. It's like almost 1,000-page book. But normally, books this big, especially Sarah J Maas books, a book like this I would have read in less than a week. Like, legitimately. I would probably, on a normal occasion, have this read 3 to 5 business days. This took me almost the entire month to read. I think I literally finished this like a week ago. I ended up giving this like 3.5 stars. What saved this book for me was Lydia. Lydia was like the only person that I felt like I cared about at the end of the book. I love Sarah J Maas. I love her worlds. Crescent City is probably my least favorite book series out of all of hers. For me personally, it's Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, Crescent City. And there were a lot of, I don't want to spoil stuff, but there were a lot of things that were hyped up about this book that I feel like were just kind of like, oh, once you actually read them. I didn't particularly care for Bryce's character in this book. Bryce is not my top female main character in general. I feel like she tried to make Bryce much more like Aelin in terms of attitude, and it wasn't coming across. I feel like for me, Bryce sometimes is just unlikable and annoying, which is not necessarily great for a main character. I don't know. Crescent City just hasn't been my favorite. Bryce and Hunt had like zero romance in this book. They were separated for like half of it, and their rejoining meetup after not seeing each other for forever was the most underwhelming thing. In any other of her series, it would have been like a whole thing where like they're like, "Oh my gosh, I've missed you so much. I love you." Blah blah blah. And this, they met and they were both just like, "Hey," and then the book continued. It was the most underwhelming thing. I felt zero romance between them. Like, there's other characters that I feel like she has more romantic connection with than her like actual mate in the book. I feel like I just spent so much time reading this and I would just kept getting more and more disappointed with it that it made me not want to read it and it put me in a book slump. But I wasn't letting myself read anything else until I finished this. As excited as I was about it, kind of underwhelmed with it. I wasn't disappointed in it. I still liked the book, but it was not the best thing I've ever read, I guess. Yeah, Lydia saved this for me. If Lydia was not in this book, then this book probably would have been like even a 2.5 star and not a 3.5. Lydia saved this book. Lydia and Rune saved this book. That's genuinely all I care about. Looking at for the next book, I feel like it's going to be even more political based than what this already is, which isn't super great. I would like Bryce and Hunt to have a functioning relationship, and I want to see more Rune and Lydia, and I want to see more of Tharian and his wife. Which, minor spoiler alert, I guess, kind of. But yeah, if you don't know anything about Crescent City, this is the 3rd book. It is Sarah J Maas's like newest world that she's like still working on. It is romantasy, but like in a modern world, so like they have cell phones and stuff. This was the 3rd book, and it took me so long to read, and I kind of wanted to die through the whole thing. But yeah, I read it. It happened. 3.5 stars. I then read the first Bridgerton book, The Duke and I. I love Bridgerton. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I feel like Bridgerton is one of the only reasons that I still actively subscribe to Netflix. If Bridgerton was on any other streaming platform, I probably would not be subscribed to Netflix anymore. Hi, Muddy. Muddy, you never join videos. It's always Addie. Hi, Bubba. I love the series so much. I haven't read any of the books, have we? No. Hi. We never join videos. It's only Addie. Say hi. Hello. It's only your brother that usually joins. It's good to see you on camera. You're so handsome. You good boy. But I haven't read any of the books. And I found this one at the thrift store and picked it up and decided to give it a read. I ended up, I think, 3.5ing this, if I'm correct. I definitely liked the show better, but it was still a good book. I definitely think the show modernizes the books in a good way. and I'm not disappointed in reading it. I think that I might actually like read the rest of the books. I think I would definitely be interested in it, which I did read the second one, The Viscount Who Loved Me. I read that on my Kindle, and I three-starring that one. I liked Anthony's season of the Netflix show better than I did the book. I feel like he annoyed me a little bit more in the book, and obviously they've changed a lot about Kate's character. Not a lot, but like they changed stuff of Kate's character from the book to the show again in what I think is a good way. But I definitely think I liked his show season better. I think the next season they're doing is Penelope and Colin, which in book order is technically the fourth book and not the third. So I might technically read the books out of order. So I did read two Bridgerton books, which is kind of random. I then read The Teacher by Frida McFadden. This is one of, I think it is her newest release. I four-starred it. It was really good. It was one of those thriller books that almost makes you uncomfortable, and I feel like that's why it wasn't like higher than a 4 for me, because I was like kind of genuinely uncomfortable sometimes with like the dialogue and the way people were thinking and acting. I don't really know how to describe this book without it being spoilery. So all I'm gonna say about it is there's a married couple. One is an English teacher, one is a math teacher. There was a girl who allegedly got a teacher fired for having too close of a relation with him, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, and she's come back to school and is kind of forming a possible too close relationship with one of the teachers. It's a student-teacher relationship, question mark? Is it? And that's all I'm really gonna say. I feel like it's one of those books that's like better if you don't really know what's happening. And then the last two books that I read were Offside and Shut Out by Avery Keelan. These are two hockey sports romance. So the first one, Offside, I ended up 3.5ing. I thought it was almost a little too long. And the third act breakup, I feel like, was kind of over dramatic. It felt like, okay, this would never actually happen in real life. Like, what the hell is this? It was still a really good book, and I liked the main characters, and I really liked their love interest. But I wasn't a big fan of their third act breakup. It wasn't my favorite thing I've ever read. So the first book, Offside, is technically I'm enemies to lovers, I guess. It is the main male romance interest is on one hockey team and the female love interest goes to the other school, so they're like opposing hockey teams. But again, the third act breakup was weird. Shut Out, the second book, I gave 4-starred. I gave 4-starred? I gave 4 stars. I liked a little bit more. I didn't think that it had like the weird kind of unnecessary third act breakup. This one is brother's teammate, I guess. I was gonna say brother's best friend, but it's brother's teammate. The main love interests have a one-night stand at a Halloween party, and then she has to move in to her brother's apartment because they're having family issues, where she finds out that her brother's roommate is this guy that she had a one-night stand with and didn't know, and they are hockey teammates. So it's like, I can't be sleeping with my brother's hockey teammate. That will like ruin their hockey team. So it's their romance. I think I liked their characters and their relationship a little bit more. And again, they didn't have like the weird kind of unnecessary dramatic third act breakup. But yeah, that is everything I read this month. I'm still kind of in a little bit of a slump, but I'm getting out of it. So hopefully in the next month, things will be a little bit better. Huh? Hey, handsome boy. Crazy couple weeks of not being able to film. I'm really trying my best to get back on my 1-week schedule. Stuff is just wild right now, and I'm trying my best. So thank you guys for being here and sticking around. I love and appreciate you, genuinely. If you want to follow me anywhere on social media, everything is linked down below. I have an Amazon wish list if you want to send me any books I had picked out, or send me your favorites, any that you think might get me out of my slumpy. Hi, lovey. Oh, key hug. Kitty hug. Yeah, she's a good boy. Any that you think might get me out of my slump is also my Pango books. If you're interested in any of the books that I've recommended, you can find them for cheaper prices on Pango. It's an online book thrift store. You can fill up your TBR for a cheaper price. Yeah, I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me, Muddy, and you. And I will see you guys somewhere else on the internet.